As you watch that video, what came to your mind? The definition of relate is to make a connection. Every relationship starts with relating. In the video, points it out so well. We can relate to anybody. The most important connection you have to make is with yourself. And that's God's grace for you. I don't know where you're at spiritual journey, but in our world, God sent his son to die on a cross for us, for you, for me. And I've got a personal testimony for this. If you have to connect with yourself and love yourself first, that's where you have to start. Because to the extent that you can love yourself, that is the extent that you can love others. And that's one of those I'm just going to ask you to believe that that's true. So if I only love myself a little bit, guess what? I can only love others a little bit. The more I can love myself, the more I can love others. And what is your origin story? If you all have been involved in our community at all, you know that most of your subconscious behavior occurs before age 7. Some of it is even occurring when you're in your mother's womb. All of these programs, all of these behaviors, all these thoughts, and what you think is true happened before age 7 or 8. When I talk about origin story, and we've got a fast action sheet that's going to step you through all these things. So if you miss an instruction, don't worry about it. You've got a sheet you can download. It's going to take you through all of this. But go back through your origin story from a relationship stand and go back as far as you can, back to your child. Understand, what is my origin story for relationship? Wow, I was married once and now I'm divorced. I wonder how my origin story, those programs that were programmed into me, played out in that relationship. Or I'm in a relationship now and it sucks and I've been in it for 10 years. Let's go back to my childhood and see what is it that's driving it, because it isn't you. Your conscious mind, that 5% of the time when you're conscious and you're focused on your spirituality, your desires, and your creativity, that's only 5% of the time that you're in that conscious state. All the rest of the time, your subconscious is driving your behavior, which leads to, or your thoughts, which leads to your behavior, leads to your actions, which leads to your results. Back to what I said earlier, you're going to get what you're thinking about the most in life. It's going to happen. It's a fun thing to do. And to illustrate the power of that subconscious mind, I'm going to play a little video for you. Take note of and think about your own life, what I just covered here, and your origin story and how this is going to play out.
My name is Rashad Bill. I've stuttered for as long as I can remember. My freshman year of college, one of the first courses I took was a speech class, and I froze. The grade I received was an F. I went from a full-time college student on scholarship to stocking shelves on the graveyard shift at minimum wage. The industry I'm in is basically a sales industry, and stuttering has gotten in the way of closing a deal or even to schedule an appointment. I could have a more successful career if I spoke fluently.
Tony, it would mean so much to me if you could help Rashad with his stutter. He's such an incredible man, and I know that there's so much more potential that he has. Every day is a struggle for him. His stutter holds him back a lot and makes him question himself. It's so hard because I can't do anything about it. Tony, if you could help, that would just mean so much to me and to our family.
Rashad, nice to meet you. Well, tell me a little bit, if you would, about what's going on in your life. I understand you're having difficulty in terms of speech impediment or stuttering.
I just know in my life I rejected it. I was ashamed of it. I drew back and was extremely introverted, but accepted.
You've gone through several stages that are perfect stages. You've gone through ashamed, you've gone through rejection, and you've gone through acceptance. You've accepted this experience. Now that you've accepted it, you can eliminate it.
Yeah, sign me up for that right now.
Okay, now I want you to notice what you just said. Do that exactly like you said. Yeah, sign me up for that right now. Say that again.
Yes, sign me up for that right now.
Now you just spoke perfectly. Now there were other parts of your speech that were perfect as well, but you just demonstrated what I'm going to show you. It's hard as human beings to figure out what makes people do what they do, but because I spent 30 years in 100 countries with more than 3.5 million people, at this point I could be an idiot and I'd have to see there's patterns that make people crazy, that make people happy, that make them fulfilled, that make them stutter. Once you know what the pattern is, it's so easy to change. Almost every unconscious pattern happened a long time ago when we make a decision about something. We model something. We model a behavior or we reject a behavior. It goes deep in our unconscious and becomes a pattern to avoid pain or to gain pleasure. When you start stuttering, tell me the moment. What's your earliest memory? What's your earliest memory in life? Take a moment. Your earliest memory in life. Probably 2 years old. Get up on a Saturday, watching cartoons and eating cereal. I believe it was Rocky and Bull. Does he have a stutter? Rocky? Not your earliest memory. When Bullwinkle got himself in trouble, how did he get out of trouble when somebody was going to torture him or do something bad to him? He would scream out, Rocky, right? And he always stuttered. So I want you to do this. All patterns like that happen because you've forgotten something that happened right before that moment. And now you're locked in by the pattern. There's a decision you made or something you experienced where life was very different right before that moment. Go back to right before that moment, and I want you to recapture what you forgot. My parents were probably arguing. Dad happened quite often, and to the point where my dad got physical. And you didn't know what to do, did you? He needed clarity and assurance. Yeah. Did you get it? That from a Rocky. Because the one thing Rocky always responded to was, I'm not just going to help. Stuttering country. Even a child who can't consciously understand it, who feels helpless, will find a way to intervene and stop pain going between those he loves. And one of the ways to do that is create a new problem. So you found a way to protect your mother, stop your father from beating her, and it worked. That was perfect for a 2-year-old. That was good for a 30-year-old machine. So now what? Do we stay two? No, we don't stay two. We don't stay two. You're a man, you're 30 years old, you've lived life, you've been through all kinds of stuff. There's a warrior in your shot. Feel him where he is. Breathe him in. The warrior is the one who can face anything and storm through it. The warrior, once he sets his mind to it, he will do whatever battle is necessary for his wife, for his family, for himself. Make the sound of the warrior. The first sound that comes to you, make the sound of the warrior. The warrior does not stop. Ever. Own the warrior. Tell me what the warrior says now.
The warrior says, I am free.
The warrior says.
The warrior says, I am brilliant.
That's right. The warrior says.
The warrior says that I am electric.
The warrior says.
I am awesome.
Ask the warrior, do you need to stutter anything?
That was awesome.
You're awesome.
Thank you. Thanks. Wow. So, what's next, Coach?
Give him a hand for Rashad, ladies and gentlemen. Rashad. Give it up for Rashad. Whoa. Quick question. Quick question. Here, what was going on before and what's changed for you?
Tony, it's just been locked up inside of me forever. I've had a speech impediment. I've stuttered my entire life. Guys, 30 years of stuttering, stammering, but that was the condition that I chose. I chose to stay there. I chose to identify as a stutterer. That's why I was afraid of greatness. I was afraid of my light shining. But no more. Because today, I am the voice. Today, I am the warrior. Today, lives will be changed. Today, saw this moment as a child. I knew that I would be on stage talking to thousands of people. Thank you for the pain. Thank you for the love. Because that brought me here today to talk to you, to give you my story, to give you me. Now you got me, now get you, and you.
Love relationships, it always starts with you. Always starts with you. And the sooner I realize that, and I'm still probably realizing it, God is working on me every day. All of us are dealing with stuff right now that we've been dealing with our whole lives. And maybe we're like Rashad and we're not aware of what it was, what it is. I had a revelation just in the last few weeks that I was totally unaware of, totally changed me, exactly what you saw happen in that video. And we want that for everybody. We want to provide that environment for you to watch videos like that,